Job closed out.
Hello, Dave. This is Don with AAA Roof Masters. How are you today?
Pretty good.
Good. I'm the individual that actually sent you over the supplement / final invoice on a claim that you're working on for us.
Right.
And that would be on Mr. and Mrs. Wilson's property.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, I'm just calling because you had some questions, some concerns, and I just want to go over those with you and try to finalize this claim.
Right. I went back out there and took another look at that today. On your estimate on the living room,
Okay.
you got R&R acoustic ceiling top point texture.
Yes, sir.
It is not top point. It is not top point in that living room.
Right. It is not. I saw that. It's like a sponge texture, or I don't know what they call that when they have to do that. I just know that I'm gonna.
I think on the living room, all it really needs is just like I had originally, stain killing the stain and painting the ceiling.
Okay. Now one question.
Because it's just a small stain.
I understand. Okay. All right. Well, that does make sense then. If it's just for that, most of the time the remove and replace is whenever we put in to replace some drywall and to put some insulation. So I agree with that. Okay. So you have sealed that. Okay.
I don't see the window screens on this estimate that you sent over the last one.
Okay.
I did look at them today, and the damage to the window screens is not hail related. I've seen a couple of screens on the front that get some pretty big tears in it, but I don't believe that hail would cause them. So,
All right. Let me take a look at that.
I don't even think you got it on this estimate that you sent me over.
I did put 3 screens on there, but I'm not sure what elevation. I just have 3 screens. It's under.
Yeah, I've been looking on it and I don't see it
Yeah, on the 3.
on this one.
Yeah, it's under miscellaneous after the shed. It's line number 39.
No, I go up to 37.
Okay, that must be the one. You must have the first one before we revised it, so I apologize. We had a.
I may have it because you still got the basic service charge on here.
Yes, I have the base service charges, and I did discuss that with Matt, the owner, about how Xactimate is getting away from base service charges and they're starting to use minimums, which I no.
AFI, we can't use basic service charges. We got to factor it into the unit cost.
Okay, so when I'm looking at, let's say the interior damage, when I look at that, all the costs that I put on there for, masking the walls and floor protection and all that were just based on Xactimate. None of the unit costs are any higher than what you had. If they are, they by a few pennies. So how do you, like on the living room for like the paint work and all that stuff, where do you add that in? Like how am I supposed to know that when I'm doing mine to send to you?
You want me to email you a copy of my revised estimate, you can look at it.
Sure, yeah.
I did go ahead and change, as far as the patio cover up.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you want to send me the revised one, and if you want me to send you our revised one, I can send it as well, and I can take off a few of those. I won't send the revised one then. I'll just wait to get yours, and then I can just call you back and talk about it.
Okay. As far as your carport goes.
Okay, go ahead.
That pre-manufactured, freestanding 7-8 foot square footage price you got in there.
Yes, sir.
That is the total kit.
Okay.
So you don't need the facial ends
Okay.
on that one.
What about on the gutter? What about on the guttered end where there's gutter at the bottom? Does it come already guttered?
My understanding it would be you because this is a pre-manufactured kit. It
Okay.
includes everything.
Not a problem. I understand that. Okay, not a problem.
So these two, you can take those two all.
Okay.
I did allow it on your patio.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's not a kit. Correct. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And on the roof itself,
Okay.
they decide don't pay for ridge cap or starter shingles. That's included in the waste.
Okay, I wanted to discuss those items a little bit with you because I understand your position on that. The only thing that I don't agree with on starter and ridge is that when you factor in the field itself is 17.67 squares, which allows a little under 2.5 square for waste. If I put 230 feet worth of starter out of those 3-tab shingles, and I cut, and each one of those bundles only does around 33 feet worth of starter. So I have to do 30, 60, 90. I have to have 2 square just for starter, so that puts me at 19.67 for starter. And then ridge is another, how much ridge is on here? There's 66 feet, so that's 2 bundles. So I need 2.66 alone just for starter and ridge, and we don't even have 2.66 in the total with your shingles and the 20 on.
Right.
You know, so that leaves
I know where you're going.
so that leaves not.
That's ASI guidelines on roofs.
Well, I can understand that if that's the case. What I've heard from State Farm and everybody else is if they do look at they look at it on an individual basis, and if you do look at this and do the math, then ASI has to make an adjustment somewhere. If they're not going to make the adjustment in allowing for the line items, then they need to make an allowance on the waste factor so that we can buy enough material. Because if I buy a 17.66 squares of shingles and I buy 2.66 square of shingles for starter and ridge, that leaves not one single shingle to waste. I better put every single shingle on this roof exactly where it needs to go, and I better not have any cuts anywhere. So that's what State Farm did. Yeah, so that's what State Farm and everybody does.
Now, this changed the step flashing, because there's no step flashing on that house.
I respect that. Okay.
Ask them if you can put it like
I
15%
did change it
less.
to a regular wall flashing, so it's
Okay.
a little bit funny there.
Now on the shingles, the 20 shingles on, if you take off the starter and ridge, are you able to put on enough in the shingles to put on the starter and ridge then in the waste of putting the shingles back on? Can you do that?
Well, I figured 10% waste is a gable roof.
Right, and that's the thing I'm saying is that physically is impossible. Physically. Now, I don't have a problem with getting you guys an invoice from the distributor that shows the material that we had to buy to do the roof, but I mean, physically, there is no argument. I mean, if you went to any boss that you have and say, hey, look at the math on how much starter and ridge is physically on this property and how much shingles are physically on the property, it's more than 20 square. I mean, it's physically, even with no waste, zero waste at all, it would be more than 20 square. Just with the shingles, starter and waste, or starter and ridge, it would be like 20.33 square just on the actual measurements, no waste at all. So that's my only thing is mathematically, it just, you can't even do it for 20 square is what I'm saying.
Well, actually, my roof comes up to 19.67 square.
19.67 would be, you're saying 17.67 plus 10%?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's even less. So we'd be in big trouble then because I need two. Yeah.
19 and 2/3.
Yeah, because I need 17.67 plus 2.66. The 2.66 being the starter and ridge, the actual measurements. You take 17.67 plus 266 is like 20.2 something, and that's before waste. That's before you cut not one single shingle on this house. So that's what we're trying to figure out is if this said 22 square, well, sure, not a problem. Now you've allowed 10% in the shingles, and you've allowed me to go and buy enough shingles to turn into starter and turn into ridge. That would make sense because I know we bought more than 20 square. We had to do the job.
We're doing it on Friday.
Yeah, we're actually building the roof on Friday, So I mean, it's not something that you're not able to go out there or somebody's out or able to see what we're actually putting on this house. I mean, the material is gonna be there. So, you know, that's my only concern on that. If we
As far as recalling that air conditioner,
right,
I didn't see any hail damage to it either, and it's protected by that eave of the patio.
so you didn't see okay because I was told to put that in there.
The
So,
window unit.
all right,
Yeah, it's no hail damage to it. You can see where somebody had touched it with their thumbs or whatever, and been all over it. I mean, it could be some rocks and cut in the yard, but just in my opinion, it held it up because it's recessed up below, you know, the eave there.
I see. So the
It's
position
pretty well protected.
the position of the AC would not allow for hail to come down and hit it, is what you're saying.
Right.
I got you. Well, do me a favor, take down my email address, and please send that over to me. And if, like I said, if there's some kind of concession that you can do on the shingles, that would help us actually physically build it.
I did put it to shed on there, even though I didn't really see much hail damage on it other than false oxidation.
There's 2 square on
But
there. Okay.
we don't have 10 and 10 on this estimate. And we don't have the basic service charge. It's factored into. Do you know how to change the factor in unit cost?
I did.
Taking out the base service charge?
Yeah, we know how to do that. The thing is once you send over your revised, if I look at it and it's exactly where it needs to be, then I won't need to send you one. It'll be just whatever you say. We'll accept it and move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't have to go in. I won't go
I
have.
sent it to my email.
Yeah, I won't have to go into Xactimate and change that.
Okay, let me get your email address.
Well, just send it to the same one you sent the other email to
Matt.
Okay.
the boss.
I'll do that.
Yes, sir.
I'll get it off to you just a few minutes then.
Okay, thank you for your help.
And if you go in with this, then I'll resubmit it to ASI and get them some money going that way.
Okay, thank you so much.
You want?
Okay, bye bye.